Have you ever had a dream? Have you ever shared your dream with others? Have you been influenced by their opinion as well? What happened next? You know, you are always influenced by others, positive or negative. Whatever you want or not, whatever are conscious or conscious of unconscious of it. You know, we always comes down. We always come down to one single thing. It's about conscious and unconscious personal transformation over time. And as you understand, if you hang up with scarcity-minded people, over time you will become one of them. However, today we will dive deep. What happens with you when you internalize, when you connect with wealthy people, people of substance, people of high values, people of high integrity, high standards, and people with money as well? Because these qualities always merge in other and go together. So you know, a lot of people think that when you hang up with wealthy people, you will over time learn how to become wealthy. You know, it's a little bit wrong because you are not learning how to become wealthy. You are becoming neurologically identical to someone who is already wealthy. We dive a little deeper today. The truth is that your brain, over time, will become mirror reflection of wealth consciousness itself, like the brain of the wealthy person. You know, inside the mind of every billionaire exists a wealth operating system, a sophisticated network of neural pathways that automatically generates thoughts, decisions, and actions aligned with abundance. Now, imagine for a moment. What if in your brain now would operate the same internal software that runs in the background of every financial successful person's mind, governing how you feel, how you think, and move toward the world, and what kind of decision you make, how you respond to life's events. Imagine such a thing. You know, recently I was reading very profoundly a study about the brainwaves of millionaires. The professor of Stanford University been studying brain patterns of billionaires using advanced EEG technology. What he discovered will fundamentally change how you understand the relationship between consciousness and money. You know, when he hooked up wealthy individuals to brain monitoring equipment, he found something extraordinarily interesting. Their brains don't just think differently about money. They operate from the entirely different neurological framework. They have abundance neural architecture, he calls it. The specific patterns of brainwaves coherence that creates the magnetic field around them within the range of 5, 6, 7 feet sometimes. Where it gets interesting is here. You know, when he placed other people in the same room as these billionaires and started monitoring their brain activity, something unprecedented happened. The observer's brain's waves began to spontaneously synchronize with the wealthy person's patterns. Not through conscious effort, not through instructions, but through pure neurological mirroring. And other thing he discovered that even the language they were using in between appears to be the carrier wave for the neurological state as well. So you see what my mother say, be aware of your language. It's old wisdom, but good, you know. But, seriously now, it's exactly how we are becoming neurologically identical to someone who already is wealthy. We can summarize it in simple terms. What Jim Rohn used to say, the power of association is incredible because it's so subtle, it's below the conscious awareness, it's so subtle. He was talking about the brainwaves, neurological level we're talking about. Inside the mind of every billionaire exists a wealth operating system, a sophisticated network, we call it, of neural pathways that automatically generates thoughts, decisions, and actions aligned with abundance. It's like you can compare it to the advanced software running in the background of your head, constantly operating for prosperity, optimizing for prosperity without conscious awareness, just because who you are. Unfortunately, most people are running on the scarcity operating system. We can say that it's outdated programming that creates survival-based thinking, number one. Number two, fear-driven decisions. And number three, limitation force actions. But the wealth operating system operates from an entirely different paradigm. It's why a lot of people struggle enormous to create abundance in their life, and they end up at the end of the day where they started. Because, the subtle operating system, subconscious mind, pull them back always where it feels home. The abundant operating system, the paradigm, operates from this point of view, we can call it. Number one, it doesn't see obstacles, it sees opportunities. Number two, it doesn't calculate risks, it calculates potential. Number three, it doesn't conserve energy, it generates energy. And number four, it's not passive, it's active and constantly scanning the reality around you, aiming and try to find resources to get what doesn't require to get the end point. It's very active. The entire mental framework is organized, the entire framework is organized around abundance rather than scarcity. The most fascinating in this concept is the part that your brain cannot tell the difference between experiencing wealth and neurologically mirroring someone who already is wealthy. And as far as your nervous system is concerned, you are already wealthy in the spiritual level, in the quantum realm. It makes you selective to where you place your attention, and it makes you attractive because you start to send the waves, the patterns, energetic patterns, the quantum signature of the wealthy man that makes you, a woman, makes you attractive to everything what you invite into your life. The neural patterns, between the person who is so wealthy in the physical world and the other two mirrorings his mind, is exactly the same. The studies says it. And I absolutely believe that it is because I've got many times proof of it in my own life. And I saw it in the lives of others. What happened in this case, in this moment? When you are mirroring a wealthy person, this creates embodied cognition when your brain generates the biochemistry, intuition, and decision-making processes of someone for whom abundance is already the natural state. So on the mental level, which is close to our results, you are already a wealthy person. So the energy emanate is exactly the same. Your quantum signature is exactly the same. There is no difference. Over time, the wealth operating system will come online in your own life. It will integrate with your existing system and begins to run your mental processes without efforts. It will be over time your default programming, default mode. When you return, when you don't seek positivity, when you don't want something, when you return, when you rest, is your nominal frequency. There is something that every wealthy person, every billionaire knows, but they never speak about it publicly. And it's the most important reason to create the mastermind group. It's an algorithm, actually, a specific sequence of internal processes that the mind runs automatically, unconsciously, and continually in every wealthy person being. It's subconscious mind, subconscious power of mind. The algorithm doesn't operate in languages or conscious thoughts. It operates at the level of what cognitive scientists call implicit processing. It's the 95% of mental activities that happen below the threshold of conscious awareness, yet determine everything you experience in your real life, in your physical life. This is what those 4 attributes of the abundant mind are all about, that I will dive to soon. These 4 attributes is the core of one of our actually best coaching program, 1 year mindset transformation program that the name is Beyond Positive Thinking. So let's dive into these 4 attributes of abundant mindset. We call them algorithm of abundance. They work in 4 phases. The phase number 1, the algorithm begins always with reality scanning. The mind continuously scans for possibility that most people can not even perceive. It makes you see money opportunities. We talk about money now, you can, require it to every other area in life. We're talking about money. It makes you see opportunity to make money where other people see nothing, or see obstacles, or see the hard work only. It makes you selective automatically to see these opportunities effortlessly without conscious awareness. It likes drive the car and see, the road in front of you. The other, number 2, phase is probability weighting. The brain automatically calculates the potential value and likelihood of success of any opportunity that pops up in front of your very eyes, but with crucial difference. It weighs potential gains exponentially higher than potential losses. There is the lever effect there. The risk, we can call it the risk assessment software, is calibrated for abundance, for make gains, instead for survival and avoid the pain. And you can never develop it, this attributes by your own. You need to have professional help, the guidance. Someone will teach you, who will help you internalize it, guide you down the way, and keep you on track all the time. accountable, keep you accountable. Number 3 attribute is resource magnetism. Once you identify an opportunity, they might automatically generate scenarios for acquiring whatever resources are needed in order to get what you want. You don't think in terms of I can't afford it. You start to think in terms, how can I structure it all around me in order to get what I want? The brain is hardwired to find ways, solutions rather than reasons why not. And the last, fourth, is timeline compression. Very important. Because you don't want to achieve your goals when you are 95 years old. When you have, we say, 38, 49, 40 now, you achieve your goals within a range of 1 to 3 years maybe, to enjoy your life as long as you can, your benefits. So the timeline compression is crucial. You know, it's instinctively think in compressed time frames, the abundant mindset. Where most people see, we can say, 5 years plan, it sees 6 months sprint. The internal algorithms are optimized for rapid execution and accelerated results. You know, I was recently watching interview with Elon Musk. It's old interview with maybe 5 years ago, but it doesn't matter. You know, it was very interesting because, you know, they asked him how you could achieve so much in your life, create so much wealth around the world and for yourself. He said, you know, one of the things is that when I see the project, I think about the project, I ask people around the advisor board how we can achieve it, what should we do, when we should start. They say, okay, the logical frame of time is 8 years, 10 years, 12 years. Say, and automatically start to think, how can I do it within 4 months, 5 months? You know, this is one of these 4 algorithms, wealth algorithms, abundant mindset algorithms, that if you internalize it, it will, you know, literally change all your achievements and make you a very effective person without, you know, overworking, without stress you up, without pay too high price for your achievements. You can only achieve the financial success in life, any kind of success, it can be financial success, when those 4 algorithms over time will become first your second nature, then your only nature. It's not about that you need to remember what to do down the way, force you, to remember things and use the power of your will. No, you will internalize it and it will become your default mood, something, that you perform automatically, habitually. Like you will get the new results. You have got this result you have today that I probably not really satisfied for you. That's why you're sitting here. It's the only way, by internalizing it, and others attributes, but we are talking about this 4 now, that are I can tell you the core of the transformation, your transformation, money transformation, the economic transformation, the way you think about the economy, the way you make your economical achievement in the program Beyond Positive Thinking. Give incredible results to everyone who fulfill this program. These attributes as the only way that you can connect with your higher self on the everyday basis. The higher self, the higher version of you that are matches the quality of the life, of the achievements that you really really want to achieve. Because everything what you have today is a reflection of who you are, your habits, how you think, how you feel, what you do. The results never lie. If you want to take your achievement to another level, you need to internalize new way of thinking, new way of feeling, what's possible for you, what you deserve, and at the end of the day, of course, the new way of acting. Because at the end of the day, is always your action conforms to you, who you are, and creates the results. Go to the link below and join my masterclass tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday. That will hold free for you. That will dive deep to the psychology of money, to the mind behind the money, behind your economical situation. And there, as well, I will share with you the two most important principles that my mentor told me years ago, and they literally turned my life around. They made me a successful person I am today, in the economical terms as well. Thank you very much for spending a few minutes with me. I hope you've got the value that I was communicating. And go to the link, send your spot, and be there. And see you there. Wish you a wonderful evening. Take care. Ciao.